To which Vince McMahon responded, "F you and your kind." We move now to Extreme Rules, the latest pay-per-view produced by World Wrestling Entertainment. It is only a few days away on Sunday, May the 22nd, and we are lucky enough to have secured an interview with the What Culture Heavyweight Champion, Jack the Jobber. Thanks so much for joining us in the studio.
What are you doing?
It's our pleasure to have you. Now, of course, ahead of Sunday, you've been hitting the gym, you've been running the treadmill. What's your weight looking like ahead of Sunday?
Can we not just do the predictions? No one wants to see this.
Fantastic. Now, your opponent, Adam Blompier, has been quite vocal about you on Twitter. I think, do we have the tweet? There it is, yes. He says, Jack the Jobber is a chicken dick. He has the dick of a chicken, and chickens don't have dicks. Hashtag BX for life, hashtag Sunday, hashtag blessed. What's your response?
He said he wasn't going to do anything this month.
Well, Jack, if only that were true. So now let's move on to the predictions. This is where you'll be putting your title at stake. Whoever gets the most predictions wrong will be forced to film themselves watching a Serbian film. That is a spicy meatball. So let's kick off with the pre-show. We're looking at Dolph Ziggler versus Baron Corbin, no DQ. Who do you have and why do you have them?
Okay, right. I've got Baron Corbin. I think Ziggler lost last month when everyone was Ziggler won last month when everyone was expecting Corbin to win. So I think they'll amend that this time. They'll have Corbin pick up the win, and finally the Lone Wolf will have his first big pay-per-view win. So Baron Corbin.
Thanks, Jack. Yes, I'm going for Baron Corbin. I think it's staggering that he didn't win last month. I assume it's just so they could make it seem slightly even before he demolishes Dolph Ziggler this month. I think he's going to make an example out of Dolph Ziggler. He's going to decorate the ring with him, and poor Dolph. I really do love him. Next up, if you like a lot of chocolate on your biscuit, join our club. We've got the Usos versus the club. Who have you got and why do you have them?
I was originally going to go for the club, but now I think I've had a last minute change of heart. I'm going to go with the Usos, Jimmy and Jay, because they're kind of like mini Roman Reigns. They're going to be protected quite a lot at all costs, and WWE haven't really treated Gallows and Anderson as the sort of dangerous tag team that they all hoped they would be so far. So I'm going to go for the Usos.
Good point, Jack, but I'm afraid I'm going to have to disagree with you. You see, I'm picking the club for this one. I know the Usos like dem wins, but the club have been treated a little unfairly on TV as of late. They've been made to look a little bit foolish. They've been made to look like henchmen, succumbing to Roman Reigns' Superman punches at every available opportunity. They kind of are resembling a bit of a tall J&J, and that simply won't do. Their first pay-per-view match, they have to win. They have to win it. They have to win their first pay-per-view match. So I'm going to give it to the club. Next up, we have Kalisto versus Rue. At time of broadcast, it's currently not on the pre-show, but we know how everything can change. So who do you have and why do you have them?
This might seem like a stupid prediction, but I really do think that Kalisto is going to retain the belt. I don't agree with it. I don't think it's a good decision. I think Rusev should win, but it's WWE. There's always one result in every show that everyone goes, why? And I think this is going to be that one. So I think Kalisto is going to retain.
Myself, I'm going with Ruru. I'm thinking he's going to match Kalisto. I believe that's how you put it. He is brilliant. He deserved much better than the League of Nations. So far, the US title has done nothing but go downhill on Kalisto. I think there's potential in Kalisto, absolutely. I think, if he was left to run and have a storyline, say, then he would do really well. But at the moment, they seem to be just doing big man versus small man, and that forever. I think John Cena will be back soon. I think John Cena will probably want to be in US title contention. And so I think, if nothing else, they are probably positioning Rusev as a transitional champion. And that sounds awful to say. Either way, I think Rusev is taking it on Sunday. Next up, the Intercontinental title Fatal 4-Way. You've got Zayn versus The Miz versus Kevin Owens versus Cesaro. Who do you have? And dare I ask, why do you have them?
I've got the same man that I went for at the WrestleMania 32 opening match. I'm going for Sami Zayn. I think out of the four guys in the match, Miz is the least popular, and yet he's the champion. I think WWE will take the opportunity now to get the belt off him. but I think Kevin Owens has had it too recently. I think Cesaro is ready now, but I don't think they feel that Cesaro is ready yet. But I do think they feel Zayn is, so I'm going to go with Sami Zayn.
Yeah, sorry, Jack, I was just tweeting. I'm going to disagree with you again. I'm going to go with Cesaro for the reasons last month. I think The Miz is great. I think he's a really good heel champion. But ultimately, you're not going to raise the prestige of the IC title on his shoulder. You could do it on Zayn's, absolutely. But I think Zayn and Owens, I think they're going towards SummerSlam in a kind of very personal, non-title feud. I think that Cesaro really is the best choice. I think he can do so much with the belt. And yeah, once again, I'm hoping they just go for the experiment, put it on Cesaro, have him hold it for ages. That's what I think. Cesaro to win. Next, the Asylum match, which involves a mop, a plant, and nunchucks. Sure, why not? Who do you have and why do you have them?
See, logic would dictate Dean Ambrose. It's his match. He hasn't regained the momentum that he lost around WrestleMania time. I still think they'll have Jericho pick up the win. I think someone will interfere or something will happen that will shift Dean on to his next feud. I don't think we'll just see Dean cleanly beat Jericho and then ride off into the sunset. So I think Jericho's going to win, and I think it'll lead to something bigger, hopefully, for Dean as well. So Jericho.
Awesome. I've got Ambrose. It's his match. I know WWE like to do 50-50 booking, but really, there's no point. There's no point. Ambrose needs big wins now, especially if you want to build up either the Shield triple threat for SummerSlam or just, the idea of the Shield in general. You need to make every member of that look strong. And I think Ambrose deserves the win. I think he deserves 2 straight victories over Chris Jericho because that is how you build momentum, not win-loss. 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 That's not how you do it. Ambrose to win, absolutely. Next up, The New Day versus the Vaudevillains. Who do you have and why?
The New Day. As impressive as the Vaudevillains have been since they've debuted on the main roster, I think they're not an established enough or as popular enough a tag team yet to take on the mantle of the first champions after the New Day, which is a huge deal now. The New Day have held it for so long. I think the New Day will win for now. And I think when Enzo and Cass come back, they'll have a feud with the Vaudevillains, but neither team's really ready for the belt yet. So I think for now, New Day will have it, and then drop it in the future to maybe Gallows and Anderson. I'm not really sure, but New Day for the win.
I'm going for the New Day as well because, Vince McMahon has been reported as saying that he thinks the Vaudevillains gimmick is stupid, and he regrets bringing them up to the main roster. So I don't think he'll be putting the belts on them. I think New Day are going to take these titles all the way till SummerSlam and probably beyond. I don't really see who's going to step up. Maybe the club? Maybe? But right now, it's on New Day. Next up, Charlotte versus Natalya for the women's title. Who do you have and why do you have them?
I know that it's Ric Flair's banned from ringside and Charlotte will lose the belt if he interferes, which seems to suggest that Natalya might win this time, but I don't think so. I think Charlotte will still keep the belt. I think she's too viable an opponent for Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch and all the sort of babyface women who've been kept in the background for now while Natalya's had a shot. I think the most sensible thing to do is to keep the belt on Charlotte and have some great feuds in the summer. So I reckon Charlotte's going to retain.
Wicked. I'm going for, Charlotte. I think the whole doing it without her father thing, I think that's the story now. I think it probably will lead to her turning on her father at some point. Maybe. But yeah, I think that somehow she manages to find a way to do it without Rick, and that's where some tension starts to come in. So I think Charlotte to retain. And so we get to our main event, AJ Styles versus Roman Reigns Extreme Rules match. Who do you have and why?
Roman Reigns. Styles isn't going to win. We all want Styles to win, but he's not going to win. Fairy tales don't happen in real life unless it's me winning the What Culture Heavyweight Championship at WrestleMania. I think Reigns is going to have this belt until after SummerSlam. I can't see anyone beating him. Just that's how much WWE are trying to get him over as a massive, strong face of the company. So, as much as I'd love it if AJ won, I'm going to go for the guy, Roman Reigns.
So yes, I don't think AJ is going to take it either. I think Roman is going to retain. I think there might be a miscommunication between the club and AJ. Maybe, you know, some tension forming between the club and AJ. Maybe they turn on him and maybe, just maybe, he debuts, but he probably won't because he never does. So those are our predictions, and hang on. So we have breaking news in the studio. The only drinking rule for this entire pay-per-view is this: take a shot every time they say Extreme Rules.
Are you kidding? That's absolutely mental. Sam, we can't do that. He's lost his mind. I can't. No, I'm sorry. I've got to go. Sorry.
And so that's it. Live from Newcastle, Jack, thanks so much for joining us. No, the pleasure was all ours, Jack. And so yes, we will see you on Sunday for the big fight. Apparently the belt is coming home. I'm Adam from WhatCulture.com.
Can you help?
And we'll see you soon. WhatCulture.com are releasing a new magazine about wrestling, and it's called Wrestling. It'll have 140 pages of timeless wrestling content, including a brand new How WWE Should Have Booked written by this virulent son of a bitch. It will also have a list of the 100 best wrestling matches of all time compiled by What Culture staff and wrestling insiders. So the magazine is available to pre-order now. Follow the link in the description and enjoy WhatCulture.com's Wrestling.